morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. It is Wednesday morning. As always, a coffee kind of morning. Cheers, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Thought I'd do hopefully a cool video. I think it's a great idea. It's called Before They Were Famous. So I've chosen 5 artists, one solo artist, who were part of original bands that were fairly successful in most of them in their country or they never really made it big in the States, some of these bands. But then they joined other bands and became extremely famous, or went solo and became extremely famous. So hopefully you'll enjoy, and let's get started. So I've chosen this band here called The Move. Okay. I've got 3 CDs. I'm going to show CDs and vinyl in this video. Some of these have BBC sessions, outtakes, live tracks, the original album remastered. So there's that one there, Shazam. Then we have The Move. Again, this one's got a ton of outtakes and stereo mixes and live and radio sessions, and the album itself, which is remastered in mono. Such good stuff. This was a VCLT from Jean. Yeah, she left me a little note here as well. And one fairly famous guy, that guy there. Whoop, where's my finger? There you go. Mr. Jeff Lynne, who, along with Bev Bevins and Roy Wood, would go on to form Electric Light Orchestra and become hugely successful, mainly under Jeff Lynne's guidance. But The Move were a British rock band formed in Birmingham in 1965. They had 9 top 20 hits in the UK, but never really found any success in the States. Led by guitarist Roy Wood. They were a combination of rock and pop and psychedelic rock. Also included Bev Bevins on drums. And then in 1972, this guy called Jeff Lynne joined the band. And kind of the rest is history. They formed a side project called Electric Light Orchestra, featuring strings and all kinds of orchestral instruments. Thank you. Say that 10 times fast. And when the band broke up, ELO became a hugely successful entity, still going on today, led by Jeff Lynne. There's 2 different versions of the band out there. There's all kinds of stuff going on, but right now is Jeff Lynne's ELO, which I've got some later stuff from him. It's just remarkable. What can you say about ELO? They're fantastic. And Jeff Lynne is just a multi-talented, super professional, not only producer, musician, singer, songwriter, player, just fantastic. So yeah, going from The Move, who was a pretty cool band. I like a lot of their stuff. Completely different than ELO, of course. But to go from The Move to ELO is remarkable, and of course hugely successful with ELO. I also have a greatest hits from The Move. Jeff Lynne isn't on this one. It's an earlier one. You can see the British 60s look with this one here, but it's a great album. It's on Pickwick Records out of Canada, so it's a Canadian pressing. And yeah, if you don't know The Move, definitely check these guys out. The next two artists I'm going to feature went from cool progressive rock, glam rock kind of bands, and joined this other band, or one formed the band, which became one of the top grossing and top live acts ever. Super, super successful. So before Bon Scott, who was the lead singer of AC/DC, became super famous, he was in a band called Fraternity. That's him there. This is a 3 CD box set. You've got disc 1 is Livestock, disc 2 is Flaming Gala, and disc 3 is Second Chance, which was previously unreleased. There's the albums there. I'm not going to spend time looking at these ones, but yeah. Bon Scott, of course, we'd lose him too early. But while he was in Fraternity, which was an Australian rock band formed in 1970, more progressive rock, psychedelic rock, boogie rock, really good stuff. I really enjoy this band. They would break up in 75. Bon Scott joined up with the Angus Brothers and to form AC/DC. They released their debut album, High Voltage, in 1976. And of course, the rest is history. Remarkable, remarkable stuff. I really enjoyed the Bon Scott era of AC/DC. And he sounds really good on this one. He sounds completely different on this than he does with AC/DC. So if you don't know the Fraternity, check these guys out. All this music that I'm showing you, I'll be playing on my Patreon page probably tomorrow. So come on over and join. The link below is to my Patreon page. I need some listeners and some people joining up. It's free to join. Come on over and enjoy. So yeah, check out Fraternity for sure. The other gentleman I'm going to highlight from AC/DC is that other lead singer called Brian Johnson, of course, who replaced Bon Scott after he passed away, unfortunately. But he was in a band, Brian Johnson was, called Geordie, from the town Geordie, or from the area Geordie. I can never remember what it is. But this is a really good album. Completely different sounding than his high-pitched growl, I guess you call it, from AC/DC, which he's done for tons of years. It's a wonder his vocal cords haven't exploded. I know his ears did, but Geordie was a British rock band from Newcastle, more glam rock than hard rock. And Johnson's voice are actually really, really good. They're softer and smoother and more something you hear in a radio, pop rockish. Completely different than what he sounds like on AC/DC. But he would eventually quit Geordie. He wanted to start a solo career. That didn't go all so well. But I think some of the AC/DC band members had seen Geordie play and really liked what he was doing, and they invited him to come over to do to try out for the band. And he was a lot older than the guys in the band, so he thought, okay, I'll try out. But he didn't really. I think he was a mechanic at the time when he tried out. And he didn't hear from them for a bit. But then they called him back and invited him, and then they released their amazing Back in Black album. And of course, the rest is history with that version of AC/DC. Still going strong. I think they should retire. Myself, just like all these older bands, unless you can sound excellent, which they still do, but it's not the same band that they were before. But that's just my opinion as well. But If you don't know Geordie, check this out. So two cool artists, lead singers, that ended up on the same band that had so-so success in their home countries, but never really, again, reached the States until they became the superstars that they were with AC/DC. This next one is kind of going backwards because the gentleman I'm going to talk about was the lead singer of a pretty successful band at the time. Mind you, it was their first 3 albums, but he did okay with these bands, with this band. But unfortunately, the band, and particularly one member, wanted to go in a different direction with the band that he was in. He ended up getting fired along with the bass player. But so he started up another band called Captain Beyond. And I'm talking about Mr. Rod Evans, who was the original lead singer for Deep Purple on their first 3 albums, along with Nick Simper, who was the bass player on the first 3 albums as well. Richie Blackmore, the guitarist for Deep Purple, wanted to go into a harder and heavier arena rock type of scenario, much like Uriah Heep and big bands like that. So he fired, actually without even them knowing, he replaced Rod Evans and Nick Simper with Ian Gillan, who I just absolutely love as a lead singer, and Roger Glover, amazing bass player. Rod Evans and Nick Simper found out later after the fact that they weren't in the band anymore. But this Captain Beyond is kind of a super group as well, because it features some amazing players. You've got the guitarist. You got the drummer for Johnny Winter's band, Bobby Caldwell. You've got guitarist Larry Reinhardt from Iron Butterfly. You've got bassist Lee Dorman from Iron Butterfly. And of course, Rod Evans on vocals. These guys sound good. I wonder if Richie Blackmore heard this and said, geez, I might have made a mistake, because this rocks just as much as Deep Purple does. But it's also got some progressive rock in it, some jazz fusion in it, and space rock in it as well. But if you don't know Captain Beyond, again, I'll be playing some of this stuff tomorrow. Amazing stuff. So check these guys out. Check out Rod Evans on vocals. And Rhino, I'm not sure. I guess that's who they call Larry Reinhardt. So they've just named him as Rhino here on guitar. Bobby Caldwell on drums and vocals. Rod Evans on lead vocal, and Lee Dorman on bass. Yeah. This is a never released demos on this one as well. So Captain Beyond's a cool band. And finally, this guy moved on to have perhaps one of the most successful solo careers ever. He's got a ton of albums out. And he's just a cool guy. But I guess from what I hear, not the easiest guy to get along with in some ways. But unique voice. The minute you hear him, you know who it is. Excuse me for just a second. But just like everyone else that I've shown you, he was in a previous band called Them. And featuring Van Morrison, lead singer. This is the only album I have of them. It's a 2-record set featuring a ton of tracks on here. But yeah, known for their big hit Gloria. These guys were active between 64 and 72. kind of combination of blues rock and garage rock and rhythm and blues. Van Morrison quit in '66 to start up a solo career, which he did in many, many ways, became super, super successful, and did quite well for himself. The song Gloria itself was inducted in the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1999, and also is on many, many lists of one of the top 500 songs of all time as well. So these guys were pretty amazing. But yeah, there's a young Van Morrison there. Sorry, not the clearest picture, but and it's all on the Parrot label. Sorry, Parrot label. Parrot label. Double album, and it sounds really, really good. Yeah, if you don't know them, again, check them out. Great band from Northern Ireland, Belfast to be exact, and features a great solo artist named Van Morrison. So, which again I'll be playing on my Patreon page tomorrow. So, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Just a cool idea, I thought, just to show some semi-successful bands who then these people moved on to even greater success and international success. And yeah, I really enjoy everything that they've done in past and present, and hope you did too. Have yourself a great rest of the day. Love you all. We'll talk again soon. Bye now.